Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Great to see ya. Great to see lots more of you in the chat this time than last week. Maybe Friday is a better day to do the BENS camera show. I don't know. Anyway, great to see you. Great to be here. Another chat about cameras and stuff pertaining to cameras. My name is Ben Slotover. This is BENS Camera Show, and welcome everyone in the comments. And we're going to talk about some, well, chosen 3 parts tonight. That's right, 3 parts, a trilogy tonight, and it's all good stuff, so stay tuned. Actually four parts if we include the film show at the end. Firstly, news, what's happened? Well, I have a camera just above. You can't see it's out of shot here, but it's on a tripod, so it's actually a mobile phone on a little monopod. And I was leaning over my desk yesterday and I whacked my head right on it, causing this thing here. So I got a nice little cut on my forehead. That's what that's all about. Funnily enough, my cat got into a fight with another cat and got a horrible scratch in exactly the same place. So I had to take the cat to the vet because it was all getting infected and stuff. And I'm sitting there with the cat, and the two of us have got like marks on our forehead. And I'm pretty sure the vet thought that I'd been headbutting the cat or something, and we'd been playing some silly game. Anyway, I bet they've seen it all, them vets. Cat's doing fine, by the way. She's on antibiotics. She's wearing a cone. It's very sad to see her try and groom herself with a cone on. Oh dear, there's nothing sadder. Anyway, lots of people in the chat tonight. Let's just say hello to you quickly. Well, those of you who have commented. Ian Hand, hello. Stas Vlad, Old Radios, all the stars are here. Barry Steinlager, this side towards screen. And many more who I'm sure are just sitting there not commenting. But if you comment during the show, I will try and get to your comments and answer them. Not going to try and not going to let it sort of hold up the show too much, but your comments are always very appreciated. And Old Radio says, my favorite thing to film my cats. Yes, well, I wish I'd got a video of this fight that went on. It was nighttime. We heard all this ruckus outside, and usually as soon as the first sign of ruckus, my cat runs indoors. That's how she's lived 11 years. But this time she was rolling around in the garden with another cat, some real bastard from down the road. And yeah, I'm hoping that she managed to, give as good as she got. Anyway, other news. Well, let's get into the film related news. I've got some brilliant news, which is a film of mine is getting another festival screening. Hooray! What film is that? Well, it's a film that I made in years ago, like 2007 or something. Yeah, some of you probably weren't even alive. Anyway, the film's called Shh. This is a still from it. Shush. Look how young I look there. That's my friend Peter Waldeck. And it's a picture story. And it's a picture story with no dialogue at all. And it's a very it's a film a little bit like a silent movie. It's not completely silent, but there's no dialogue in it. And it's getting shown, I'm delighted to say, at the Penistone Film Festival, which is all about... I'll get into the small box here. Penistone Film Festival. It's which Penistone? Where's that? You might ask. It's in up the north. Sorry to people in Northern England. I'm patronising you, aren't I? Southern bastard that I am. Let's. Oh, that's all for later. Here it is. It's about midway between Manchester, Sheffield and Leeds, not far from Barnsley. They do a silent film festival every year. There it is. Right there. And I bet they've got some really good ale up there. They've never had better ale than the north of England. Oh my goodness, it's good. So yeah, it's all sorts of like Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd and all of that stuff. And there's a whole weekend of all this fun stuff. Submit your film. Already done that, and they're showing it. I'm so excited. And you can dress up like a flapper. There's all this stuff going on. So if you're in the north of England and you're around October 18th, 19th, popped down to the Penistone Film Festival. It's first time I've ever been, and should be a great deal of fun. So what else? What else have I been up to? Well, there's the cat fight, the Penistone Film Festival. Yeah, that's all about all I'm going to go into right now. But let's just get a better background on here. There we go. Old radio's message retracted. Oh, I wonder what that was about. No naughty jokes, please. I know. England's full of places with funny names. Just get used to it. You know, go live in Cockermouth or Long Bottom or, you know, Grope something Lane in London. So anyway. Hey, CJ Costa Rica. Hello, Ben, he says. Hello all. Happy Friday. Yay, got that Friday feeling. We all do. So anyway, we're going to start tonight. Well, we've started, I guess, with the whole thing about the film festival. But we're going to start tonight with a little update from a previous show. Yes, I did a whole show on the 26th of April this year where I talked about Bolia batteries. And if you didn't see it, it was very exciting. We had an amazing time. It's about this camera here and the ridiculous shenanigans you've got to go through to power it up. You've got to get a special kind of battery in there. If you missed it, then it's up here on my channel. Have a look. So anyway, we've got an update. We've got an update from that channel. And firstly, I'm going to just bring you up to speed on something that occurred during that show where I talked about the Bolia battery. Let's go into the screening room, and I'm just going to run. This is only like a 2 or 3 minutes little clip from a previous show to explain about a certain battery that I was given for this Bolia. So let's have a look. This thing has everything you would want in a Bolia battery, in that if your batteries go, if they let's get this off. If these batteries run out, you just pop them out. You pop them out and you put new ones in. Easy, you know, 2 minutes it takes. You could put rechargeable ones in, and then you could charge them separately, put them back in here. In fact, it's better to use rechargeable ones if they're 1.2 volts. Here's the problem with this one. You're not sorry, what were your names? Sorry, I should say. Auske Knips. Thank you for sending me this, guys. But you've got a real issue with these contacts here. Notice all these batteries. They've got these circular contacts. You know why they've got those circular contacts? Because when you screw this thing in, you don't know where it's going to stop exactly, and you want to be sure that you're going to make contact with these contacts in the camera like this. When I put this in here and I line them up, they've written top there, which is great. Okay, top, fine. So I've lined them up. I think they're touching. When I put this thing in and screw it in, it loses the contact. You can't, it doesn't, I know it still says top there, but never have I managed to screw this in and to maintain contact. Listen, nothing. The only way I managed to get a contact was to hold it and maneuver it in a very specific place. And then finally it actually started working. I can't even, no, it's, so guys, I'm talking to the makers of this thing here. You're on the right track. You're nearly there. You know, it's a great idea. Get an electrode like this onto the top of it. Right. Well, that was April 16th show there. Whoops, let me just switch that. I always forget to switch off the previous video. So that was the situation as it stood. And well, I'm happy to say, let me get into the little thing here. Right. So here's the camera. Oh, let's get that off. There we go. So here's the camera in question. And here's the battery. I'm happy to say that they listened to my request. And look what they've done. They've only gone and done it. They put a circular contact on this thing, which means that you can now put batteries, AAAs, rechargeable ones, these ones, I'll get to that in a minute, 6 of them, just load them into there, stick them in there, get the top bit on, let's screw that on. Oh, also, this this top bit here now has, is it that one? Is it this one? Yeah, it now has a metal thread on it, which is great as well. So I put that on here, and then what do you know? Works. So basically, the Bolia has now been solved power-wise, because you just get yourself one of these, and then you can take these normal AAA batteries out, recharge them, and stick them back in, stick them back in, stick them back in. The Bolia is now basically a AAA battery charge, a AAA battery powered camera, as opposed to, well, you saw all the stuff I was talking about last time. Look at this. Not there. Oh, there. See, it was all this before. That's like a bespoke made battery which can't be opened, which has its own rechargeable cells inside. That's an original Bolia battery. That's the S06E05. And this one has all these little batteries here, which is great, you know, if you know what you're doing. And but they're very difficult to open up these things and replace the rechargeable batteries, because of course, eventually these rechargeable batteries are going to need replacing. And with this thing, you can do it straight off, just easy. So I'm going to give a plug to these guys because they sent me this. And let's see, there we go. S06E05. Basically, I think the makers of all other Bolia batteries are in trouble, because there's no reason why you wouldn't get one of these with with replaceable AAA batteries. Easy peasy. And at £160 English, it's about half the price of one of those other bespoke batteries. So there you go. And not only that, but they make a battery for the Bolia R16 as well, with the circular contacts. I think it's R16. Is it R16? Anyway, I don't have one of those, but if I ever do get one, I'll have the battery for it. So great news. Hooray, hooray. Go to, if you've got a Bolia that needs a battery, just go to these guys. Okay, £160. Not cheap, but it's the last battery you're going to need. The best thing is you don't even need a second battery. You can just take double the number of AAA batteries and stick them in there and plug it in, and boom. So yeah, there we go. Go to S06E05. They've got all sorts of other stuff as well. Look at all this other stuff. They basically 3D print stuff. There's stuff, you know, 59 pages of this stuff. So good for them, you know. It's nice to see people supporting old technology these days, and S06E05 seem to be right on the ball there. Anyway, they're not paying me to give them a plug. I'm just genuinely excited that they've released this thing finally, and that it works perfectly. Now, there was something that came up on the previous show I was talking about these cameras, which was about the batteries themselves, about rechargeable versus non-rechargeable batteries. Let me show you an example here. It's gone on the floor, of course. Okay, so I have my multimeter here. This side towards the screen says, I like stuff. Yeah, you can get stuff from a stuff shop. And Super Cindy 100, yep, that is pretty cool. That is excellent. I mean, the arse is going to drop out of the Bolia battery market now because of these guys. Right, so Here's a regular Energizer battery. In fact, let's put it the right way around so we can see the Energizer. So this is one, just a non-rechargeable one. And we're just going to look at what the voltage is on this thing, because why not? And there we go, 1.62 volts. Okay, that's a normal kind of voltage you get. Even though the battery is a 1.5 volt battery, when they're brand new, they usually go a little bit more. So it's 1.62 volts. This is an Eneloop, which is one of the better rechargeable batteries. And what's the voltage on that? Well, it's 1.37 volts. Slightly less. And in fact, while we're at it, let's see what the voltages are on this thing. This is 6 of these Eneloop batteries in this thing. And for the central part, 4.1 volts. That's for the auto iris and various functions that aren't to do with running the actual motor. And on these Bolias, if you want to run the motor, it connects these two, which is 8.2 volts. It's a little more than the 7.5 that the Bolia requires. So, 4.1, you see, that's usually supposed to be, 3.25 or something. Or the 3.7 something volts. It's a little more, but the thing is, the Bolia can take it can tank a larger voltage like this. It is perfectly capable of taking 8.1, 8.2 volts and running perfectly well with it. I did an experiment, funnily enough, where what I did was I loaded a camera with rechargeable batteries and I checked the auto iris, see what reading it gave me. It gave me 5.6. And then I put rechargeable batteries. So I wondered if it affected the light meter reading at all, having rechargeable versus non-rechargeable. No difference. The rechargeable, non-rechargeable, they both came up with the same f5.6 in that situation. Now, could the actual camera motor run at different speeds? I don't know. I'd have to analyze the waveform of the sound that it makes. But I'm pretty sure that non-rechargeable or rechargeable seem to just work the same way. I know there are some cameras, like I think there's a Nizo or something, that really does prefer the lower voltage of the rechargeable batteries. Someone in the comments might be able to old readers, that redacted message wasn't a joke. My fat finger ruined my message. It's all right, mate. I was just, I was having a laugh. Super Cine 100 says, if my Heath Robinson affair ever packs up, I'll get one. Yeah, by all means, get one. Go to Ausgeknipst and if you're Heath Robinson, I love Heath Robinson references. I used to have a book of all of his drawings. Fantastic stuff. In fact, a lot of people who are into film and Super 8 ought to look at Heath Robinson. You can give them some ideas about fixing things with little bits of string and glue and making bizarre contraptions. Stas Vlad says, Eneloop, my favorite batteries. Yeah, and they bloody cost a bit, don't they? They're not cheap. I mean, hopefully these are the last ones I'll have to buy. They've got about 2,000 cycles, I think. These things, they're as long as I don't lose them. I've already dropped this one on the floor 6 times, so here's hoping. Right, so that's the Bolia battery news that I promised you last time, and I'm very happy with that. That's all very good news. Right, we're going on to the main part of the show. Well, the main part of the show. This is the biggest segment of the show, and that's all about natural developers. Natural. Now, if you look in here, there's some pictures of flowers from the garden. Natural developers, basically, caffeinol. They started to make developer out of caffeinol, instant coffee. I've gone through it many, many times. If you Google it, everyone who does anything, any kind of home development knows about caffeinol. One of the absolute experts in natural developers, that is developers made not from a bottle of concentrate from Kodak, but from stuff you find in nature in the garden, is someone who's been on my show before, a very good friend of mine called Daggy Brondert, who is also the pretty much acknowledged world expert on this kind of stuff. In fact, let's just go into the let's just go on the internet and give her a plug. This is her website, daggybrondert.de, and here's a page. She put all her recipes on her website. She's even got a recipe blog. She does seaweed, she does all sorts of magnolia, Kartoffel, that's German for potato, red wine. She makes all sorts of this stuff. So I thought, well, let's have a go at that. Let's see if these natural developers actually work, you know. Hey, Tio Manny's in the house. Hey, Manny. Almost said, hey, Tio. Tio's uncle, isn't it? I think so. Anyway, so yes, great that you could join me. So yeah, we're talking about natural developers here. And this is Daggy's thing. I might get Daggy back on the show. I did a whole show with her as a guest called about these natural developers. So I went out in the garden, and what did I find? Well, let's go into the screening room and see what I discovered. So what did I decide to make a developer out of? There was lots to choose from. But I saw we had a lot of these. Buttercups, everyone. These little yellow flowers. Everyone knows buttercups. In fact, I've got Wikipedia here saying they're called ranunculus. And they are worldwide. There's nearly 2,000 different species of them. Some of them have red, orange, or white flowers, but they're normally yellow. The ranunculus comes from the Latin as means little frog, because they're often found to grow around near water like small frogs. All parts of the buttercup are poisonous to both humans and animals. Buttercups possess a pool of nectar in the bottom part of their petals. This is unique to the buttercup and cannot be found in any other yellow flowers. The nectar attracts many insects and helps with pollination. Buttercups have a layer of reflective cells which gives them their lustrous appearance. The reflective properties can also, during the right conditions, create a bright flash of light which attracts insects from a distance. Buttercups are heliotropic, which means they follow the sun. Wow, how cool is that? It actually writes here. What else can I tell you about buttercups? They are toxic, yes. You have to dry them out before you actually use them. They can cause dermatitis and stomach ulcers and all sorts of nastiness. So I harvested a whole bunch of these things. And they're hermaphrodite flowers. How about that? Interesting. Toxicity. They're poisonous when eaten fresh, but they're acrid taste. So they're okay when they're dried out. So I dried some out, and then I crushed them using a pestle and mortar and a little bit of water, which actually helped to crush them up. I hope it didn't re-engage some of the poison in it. But anyway. So generally with these natural developers, you have to crush them, and then you have to boil them, and then you have to basically let them steep in the water. This side towards screen. If you have buttercups, hold buttercups under your chin, and it reflects yellow, then the person likes butter. I've heard of that. How does that even work? Maybe if your skin's very greasy, it reflects. Maybe that's it. If you eat tons of butter. Anyway, I love this. This is some lovely steeping footage here of the buttercups imparting their chemical goodness to the water, making it all lovely and yellow. Oh, we're going to get some good pictures out of this. Maybe a little bit yellow tinted. Who knows? So, anyway, what I did was I added some sodium carbonate, because you've got to add all that kind of stuff to the buttercups, to the natural developers like caffeinol. You need sodium carbonate, a bit of vitamin C. I put some of that in. I basically use the same amounts you use for caffeinol, because you got to start somewhere. So I'd start there. 16 degrees of, and then I filtered it. And now this turned out to take a bloody age. I had to go through 3 filter papers, and I think the buttercup bits kind of clogged up the pores in the filter. So yeah, it took a very long time to filter all that stuff out. Old Ray says, wonder if it does better than onion stock. A bit dehydrated, yeah. Well, you have to dehydrate it to reduce the poison. So there's some nice footage here of. Now they're the filter papers. After I did all that, and all that's disgusting gunk there, probably toxic. It was very messy. A little reminder there of the recipe there. It's yeah, that's oh well, it's gone now. And then so I did some test strips. I put it into my little Patterson tank there. Took about 750 mils, and I did test strips using. There we go. Yes, I did test strips, and I left them in the developer for. I tried a spread of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes in the developer. 10 minutes is usually what it takes Caffeinol to develop Kodachrome. So I just put that as the center point, and I tried 5 minutes before, tried 5 minutes afterwards. I thought one of those will come up with something that will give me an indication about how well Buttercup Panol works. So, right. Yeah, Barry, try tea strainer. So I should have done a muslin cloth, really, and tea strainer. Yeah, I know. Well, you live and learn, don't you? So let's see what the result was of Buttercups. Now let's get rid of that. Let's see some results. Firstly, the Buttercup developer with the I tried it with Tri-X, I tried it with Orwo UN54, and I tried with old Kodachrome 40 sound film. So loads and loads of different film strips to try, and you can see the results right here. Not good. Clear. And here, nothing. And here, also nothing. These are all at different times. So that there was no difference between 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. Unfortunately, bugger all is what happens. Buttercups do not develop film. Well, I'm glad I found that out to save you all the trouble of trying it yourself. The thing is, okay, other than the fact that nothing came out, there's one thing you can learn, which is, other than don't try doing that, which is basically the method I used of crushing them, steeping them, boiling them, mixing with washing soda and vitamin C. That's all genuinely good process. That should work. But if the film isn't coming out, then unfortunately it must be the Buttercups do not contain the requisite material to do it. This side towards you, maybe dandelion. Yeah. I next time I should try dandelion leaf, dandelion whatever. Anyway, so what I did was I threw in some instant coffee because I thought something's got to work. I've got a lot of Kodachrome 40 to develop. So I added 40 grams of instant coffee, and I made something which I'm calling Buttercuffenol. I should trademark that, but the fact of the matter is that Buttercuffenol isn't very good either. Something to do with the Buttercups actually made the caffeinol worse. So this is basically, let's see what we've got here. It does work a little bit, okay? So this is 8 minutes in the Buttercuffenol. Whoop, that's all you're going to get. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, and this was on a really sunny day. Now, listen, I can't blame the developer all the way because the film I used here, this Kodachrome 40, was Kodachrome 40 sound film. And I found Kodachrome 40 sound film really does not seem to age as well as this Kodachrome 40 silent film, and it might be that maybe the emulsion is slightly thinner, maybe it's a slightly different formulation, who knows? But I was already onto a loser by using sound film. Tio Manning, oh, good name, thank you, Buttercuffenol. Let's see, 8 minutes. Let's see, 13 minutes. Yeah, not much better. And I did, I think, 14 minutes, which is actually the best results so far. There we go. So that looks like that's about as good as we're going to get with Buttercuffenol. 14 minutes at 25. I was a bit wary about leaving it for longer than that because the Kodachrome 40 that I was using was starting to get very dark at this point. And I thought if I leave it for much longer than 14 minutes, then it's who knows what's going to happen. It's probably the whole thing's going to just go black. So what did I? So 14 minutes. I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll develop the rest of this Kodachrome 40. Aldria says it's something. That's about as good as we can say about the next lot, because I developed the rest of the roll of Kodachrome 40 in buttercup for 14 minutes, and it looked actually worse than this. I would give it a 1 out of 10 on a scale of development success. I'd say 1, maybe 1.5. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect, 1 is one step above nothing coming out. 1 is where you can see what it was that you filmed. Just about. You got enough clues. Well, let's just show you. This side's course. There is an image. Yeah, I know. Tio Manny says, I no wonder. I think it's the glue that is used for sound striping. Same for me. Really does not age well. Yeah. You know, I really should have tried it with UN40 or Tri-X or something. But anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Well, it's, you know, whatever. So yeah, this is the raw scan. You can barely see anything there. Yeah. And then with a ton of post-production correction, post-production digital inverting. Okay, there's a couple of friends of mine on the beach. You can see the beach umbrellas. I wish this is pure Buttercup, but this doesn't. This is just adulterated caffeinol at this point we're looking at. Let's see who can spot the London landmark. This this side screen, Tower Bridge. Oh my God, you must have seen that in the negative, because this is how it looked in the positive. Yeah, it looks like it was filmed about when Tower Bridge was built. This is some footage. I actually shot this on some better film, which is when that galleon went through there. Yeah, very, very, very grainy. And this is after a ton of color correction. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, it's you know, and God knows what those spots are. Virus from beyond the planets. Anyway, let's just sort of enjoy the rest of this these shadows, this platonic cave of Super 8 here. Super Cine. Oh, can I change my score? What do you mean? Oh, score. Oh, yeah, 1 out of 10. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. And this white spot here, that was actually just a piece of dust on the scanner. Ah, dear. Well, you know, hey, listen. Kubrick said you can learn as much from a bad film as you can from a good film. And I like to say the same. You can learn as much from a bad development as you can from a good development. So, yeah. So I'm not going to be harvesting buttercups from the garden again. And if I do, unless I want to try and poison someone. This side towards the screen. Maybe the kids would say, I love the grain. Yeah, you know, please, everyone, don't try and make a positive out of this other than as a warning. You know, don't say, oh, well, it looks kind of grainy, but it's okay. I know it really does not look okay in the scheme of things. But as an experimental test result, it's interesting and it's useful. And at least I know I saw something. God. At least it's something. That's a 1.5 score, isn't it? Oh dear. Some more old radios. Yes, 1 out of 10 won't develop again. I don't know. Has anyone got a suggestion about some sort of herb or flower or something from the garden, which I could try next time? I'm not completely finished on the idea of natural developers. I mean, look what Daggy managed to do. She's created miracles. You know, but then she's been doing this for years, and she's gone all over the world. In fact, I believe she's gone to America. She's harvested stuff all over the place. This side towards screen. Nettles are all over the UK. I wonder if that could be harvested. Yeah. Well, maybe next week you'll see me. Apart from this, you'll see me with welts all over my face and arms from nettle harvesting. You can do, yeah, you can certainly make cordage from nettles, can't you? I've seen Ray Mears do it on the TV. Well, yeah, I'll try it, but you know, who knows? It's there's a lot of species of crap out there, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I have actually made a natural developer once before, and that was, I believe, potatoes. I made developer out of potatoes, and I knew that worked because Daggy had already done it. So basically, I'm going to try and do something which I, Some herb which no one's ever tried before. Tio Manny says, I get really good results with oregano high contrast. Well, I wonder what else you put in there, like the usual vitamin C and washing soda. Oh, I forgot to put potassium bromide in it, unfortunately, which might have helped, you know, in reducing the amount of fog this side towards me. So I wonder if starch-based plants, they work for Daggy. They worked for me one time. Maybe I ought to give my mate Adrian Cousins a call and ask, what is it about a plant I can research in advance? What do plants have that develops film? Maybe it's terpenes or something. Barry says, does the sap on the flower have a commonality with caffeinol? I hope not, because the sap is you know, it's toxic and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's what is it in the plants that causes them to develop the film? That's what I want to know. That's what we want to know. Anyway, I mean, that's about as far as I can take that particular line of inquiry. So let's get on to film time. Yes, let's have a film. Let's show a movie. I've got a standard 8 one set up this time, and it's one. Let's turn the lights off. There we go. It's one which let's go into my screening room here. This side towards the screen says strawberries. If you fail, you can eat the leftovers. Well, I guess so. What a disaster. Let's get all this stuff off. Don't need that. Don't need any of that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right. Okay, so what are we going to show? Old Ray says, let's have a film. Yes, let's cheer ourselves up with a movie, shall we? Right. I just switch the other light off. Oh, do we even need to? No, I don't think so. I think it's dark enough. We can see what we're doing. TMA says, same stuff. 1 cup of oregano steeped for 24 hours and 2 liters of water. It's the phenols that help. The phenols. Thank you, Manny. I'm sure. Yes. It's the phenols that help the development process. Maybe I didn't steep or extract any phenols from the buttercups. Does anyone know if roses work? You know, they're very aromatic. Could they work? Right. Anyway, our film tonight is called Spartacus the Gladiator. No, not Stanley Kubrick. It's an Italian film from 1953, also known as Spartaco. And, well, I mean, who would be better to make a gladiator film than the Italians? They were the OGs, weren't they? Anyway, well, let's have a look. It's called, I don't know if I have all of it. I think it's just a section of it. And it was in an old roll of film, which did stick a couple of times and burn. So maybe we're lucky enough we can get some actual burning of the, let's see, have I got a live picture? Yes, I do. All right, everyone. The Castle Films version. Yeah. What is it about people like Castle Films that they only ever seem to release these real kind of like B movies, you know? And that's not true. But a lot of the films I've seen available for Super 8 have been like ones where you just never heard of the film, or it's a weird version of it. Yes. Sword and Sandals. Let's get this going. Firstly, with this, let's get the film started. No, let's get the music first. I found some music. Yay! Real lines. It's going to stop jittering, I think, after a bit. Oh yes, come on, feed them to an actor. Can I get that any sharper? No, that might be a... Whoops. Real people there. They don't know CGI here. Alright, so there's the Emperor. Yeah, I wonder if they... No, they can't have filmed that in the actual Colosseum, could they? How did that guy get to be Emperor? He looks like an alcoholic Italian actor. But it's amazing. They actually did build all this stuff for real, which is pretty impressive. Cast of thousands, indeed. No AI. No. Whoops. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh. No. Come on. There we go. A little bit of melty action there. Is it in slow motion? Should we try and speed things up a bit? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She gets the thumbs down. No. The Emperor's going to override her now. Overall. Thumbs up. Yay. Spartaco gets the girl. My friends, Romans, I will not accept my freedom until slavery is abolished. Fair enough. Get back in your cell, mate. Oh, no. He's going to set the Centurion on fire. Yes. Oh, yes. And everyone else. Probably like some unpaid extras getting set on fire. Why not? Come on, Spartacus. Come on, Spartaco. Whoops. Yikes, projectionist nightmare. Oh, yeah. It's the... Look at that. They're actually real actors jumping out with flaming torches right into the water. What a spectacle. And off they go. Arming themselves with primitive weapons, Spartacus leads the gladiators on sleeping Rome. Uh-oh. Oh, we're going to see a massacre now. Yeah. This is him leading the gladiators on sleeping Rome. Okay. Ah, the music has changed now. Old Ria says, sounds like an idea. I forgot what I said that sounded like an idea. Was it the phenols? Oh, gosh. This was just random copyright-free music off YouTube. And it actually fits the music quite well. It fits the film quite well. Yeah. Cecil DeVille music as well. You would know Cecil DeVille. You made Ben-Hur, didn't you? They show Roman. All you can see is animated. Zzz. Oh, you're talking about the yes, the like the Ridley Scott gladiators. Fair enough. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, it gave him a right smacker across the face there. Anyway, standard 8 doesn't look too bad really once the projector gets a bit warmed up. So anyway, Spartaco the gladiator. He wasn't strangling that guy very convincingly. Jesus Christ, they actually set a tent on fire and had actors run out of it. I mean, I don't think there was a lot of health and safety involved in the old Italian film industry. Old Rare says, beats MIDI music like on some home movie transfers from the 80s. Really? They, oh right, you mean they, like, I remember they used to put MIDI music on old silent films on TV. Like it was super cheap. Oh, he's through the spear. He didn't see who it hit. Who's that guy? He said, oh, blimey. Guys, could have woken me up for this, you know. He's saying. MIDI. This is probably MIDI right here. I don't know. It's probably not MIDI, but it's some sort of synthy kind of. Well, you know, look, you pay peanuts, you get copyright-free YouTube music. What are you going to do? So it's just a lot of night stuff. It looks like they just burned down a whole, well, a movie set rather than the whole of Rome. But hey, TMA, this is a production. Even the new silent films on DVD or Blu-ray, the music is sometimes horrible. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess turn the sound off and just put on your own music is the answer. Who knows? They used to put awful film. They used to show Harold Lloyd on TV and put the most awful bloody music on it. Oh no! Whoa! Oh no! Again! Let's just leave it to burn, shall we? No. Next time it does that, let's just savor the moment. The old film. Of course, yes, it's the fire. it's the... Oh god, there we go. The end. The end, and the film should just burn here at the end. Hang on, how's that the end? That wasn't the end of Spartacus. That was... What the hell? Oh, well. I'm sure Spartacus didn't... Oh, yeah, let's one more. A bit more. Let's just burn some more. Another one. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, I might even save this video. Let's see how much it's going to burn. We're going to see light. Yes, we're seeing light. Light coming through. Yay. Oh, nice. Let's burn another one. No, it didn't stick again. There we go. One's enough, I think. Well, everyone, that should be it, really. That's the end of this episode of Ben's Camera Show. And it's, yeah, it's been fun. Oh, whoa, people pay a lot for the burn effect. I should do a whole movie of just that, just burns. Why not? Anyway, that was fun. We learned a lot. We laughed, we cried, we learned. We watched Italian actors and extras burning a set down. And the next episode of my camera show will be in 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, on Thursday, 4th of September. We are going to do Tri-X, full reversal developing. That means I'm going to develop it as a positive using the proper D94 process. I'm going to go to Kodak. Well, I've gone to Kodak. I've got the full process. We are going to do Tri-X finally, not as a negative, and with digital reversal, with proper analog full reversal. And that's going to be as fun as it sounds. Hey, everyone's saying ended just like the Bedford incident. Oh, Barry, what was the Bedford incident? Tio Manny, thanks Ben, have a great day. Yay, thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks Tio, thanks Super Cine 100, that was brilliant. Thanks man. Yeah, it was a short, snappy one tonight. Finally, I will learn step by step as old radios. Yes, and let me tell you, it wasn't plain sailing the whole time. It was yeah, there was a bit of a well, there was one or two upsets. Anyway, you'll all find out in 2 weeks. So, 4th of September, everyone. And thanks for tuning in. And I will see you all then. Now, should I end when the music comes to a complete climax here? No, I shouldn't. Okay. Whoops. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Stas. Old radios. Good afternoon if you're from America. And Manny and everyone else. See you in 2 weeks. Have a good weekend. See ya.